it's Nell, and today I am going to be talking about African mask plant care. So if you are interested in that, be sure and stick around. So first of all, Happy New Year. This is the first video of 2020. I am going to be doing a houseplant series. I thought that would be a good thing to do in January. And speaking of houseplants, the first blog post that I did this year, just a couple days ago, just posted, is office plants for your desk. So if you are interested in desktop plants, I give you 15 options in that. So head on over to the blog, JoyUsGarden.com, and check out that. So if you are interested in gardening both indoors and out, be sure and hit subscribe because I would love to have you come back and watch more videos. I haven't filmed a video in about 3 weeks, but I've enjoyed some time off, and I hope you have also, but now it's time to get back into it. And I just wanted to show you my Christmas cactus. It's actually a Thanksgiving cactus. Everybody just, lumps them as Christmas cactus because I showed it in my container plant tour, and I said that it probably would be a New Year's cactus, and it started to open up December 30th. So yes, it is going to be a New Year's cactus. Every leaf is covered with buds or flowers, so it is going to be beautiful indeed. And behind it is a silver dollar succulent vine, which I will be doing a video on in the spring because I'm going to transplant it also. All right, I just wanted to mainly show you this. Now onto the African mask plant. So here is the African mask plant. The genus is Alocasia and the family is Eraceae, which is the same as many popular houseplants, the aglaonema, the peace lily, philodendrons, pothos, anthuriums, on and on. I will leave pictures of those in the blog post. And speaking of the blog post, I'm going to do a detailed blog post. I'm just going to cover some important care and growing tips here, and you can get more information there. The link will be down below. And also on my website, JoyUsGarden.com. And how it's used is a tabletop plant. Now, I imagine as mine gets bigger, I've never grown one to a big size. It is going to become a floor plant. But for now, it's a tabletop plant, and they are usually generally sold as tabletop plants. So this plant is certainly enjoying popularity right now. I've seen it at a few nurseries and garden centers. I believe this one that I have is Alocasia Polly, P-O-L-L-Y. I bought it as African mask plant, but I think it is the variety Polly, which stays smaller than the other Alocasias do. Some of them get up to 4 to 6 feet. This one gets up to about 18 to 24 inches. So as it grows, I will see which one it is, but I think it is Polly. Regardless of the genus or the variety, the care is the same. The growth rate. When I bought this plant, it probably had like 8 leaves on it maybe, and it has grown a lot. So I would say that the growth rate on this one is moderate. I'm going to focus in on the plant now so you can see what the big draw of this beauty is. It is the foliage. And as it grows, the foliage gets larger and it's quite patterned. It's very tropical, which is very suiting because this plant is native to the tropics and the subtropics. And it is just gorgeous. So exposure. This plant likes bright natural light, like many houseplants, especially those in the Eraceae family. That's a general rule, but it doesn't like any direct hot sun. I've never grown it in low light. It is not billed as a low light plant, so I imagine you would not get any growth at all, and you would probably have the leaves getting smaller and smaller. But I'm going to take you into my dining room and show you where I grow this plant, just so you can get an idea. This is an east exposure. You've got to remember I'm in Tucson, Arizona, so we get a lot of sunshine all year round. But it's a nice, beautiful, bright room, and I grow many plants in this room. So here's the African mask plant in the dining room along with a few of my other plants. It is January 5th. It is about 9:45 in the morning. And that vivid poinsettia that you see there is Gold Rush. It's still looking good. I love the color. And the windows are right over there, and the bay windows are there. So it's about 12 feet away from the window, and I have no other supplemental lighting on this at all. And in the wintertime, you might have to move it to a brighter location that gets a little bit more bright natural light. In terms of watering, this is a plant that I never let completely dry out. Many plants, house plants, I do, but I let it go almost dry, maybe like to three-quarters of the way dry, and then I will water it again. Now in the winter, I am watering it about every 10 days. As you can see, it's in a smaller pot. In the summer, it's usually every 6 to 7 days. And it loves to be sprayed because, as I said, it is a subtropical, tropical plant. So as I say with the watering, you always have to adjust to the size of the plant, the soil mix it's growing in, and your environment. But that is a good general rule for watering. And about every 2 or 3 weeks, I take it to my kitchen sink and I give it a nice spraying. Humidity. I oftentimes don't cover humidity in the videos, just in the blog post, but it is important to this plant because it does like humidity. It is a plant that oftentimes gets touted as one that is tricky to grow indoors. I've always had luck with them, but as you can see, the tips are a bit brown, and that is the dry air. I am in the desert. A couple of weeks ago, the humidity was like 13%. Today, I think it's 29%. So our humidity is low. So besides spraying the foliage every 2 to 3 weeks to up the ante on the humidity, I also have the plant placed on this, the pot obviously placed on this saucer that has rock, and then there is water in there. I don't fill up the water. I keep it about halfway. And the third thing I do is there is a diffuser behind all those plants on the table you saw, and it is a tall diffuser. It doesn't have any oil in it. It's just water. And I run that about 4 or 5 times a week. And that seems to help all my plants too. You may be in a much more humid climate, so it may not be that much of a concern for you, but many homes are dry, so I just, wanted to share that. And this is just an interesting point. The leaves open up, and they open up, they're greener, or this is what I have seen. You can see that one right there. And then as they get older, they turn that beautiful deep green. I'm going to briefly cover temperature. Yes, this one does like it warm, so if you have it in a cold room, it probably will not do as well. Feeding. Yes, I do feed this plant. I feed it spring, summer, and fall, early fall. I feed it probably 6 to 8 times during the year, and what I use is Eleanor's VF11. Has a lot of minerals and that sort of thing in it. It is non-burning, which a lot of fertilizers can burn, but and the other good thing about the Eleanor's too is that it can be used as a foliar feed. So you could put it in a mister and spray the foliage too. So actually, I haven't done it. I haven't sprayed the foliage of this plant, so I think I'm going to try that next year and see if it makes any difference. Next year, it is already next year. It's 2020. I'm going to try it this year and see if it makes any difference. Let's do a quick close-up on this gorgeous foliage just so you can really see it. Some of the new growth down in there. Such a beautiful plant. And the last point I'm going to cover is toxic to pets, because I know a lot of you have pets, and I've got 2 kitty cats. Fortunately, my cats don't chew on plants, so that's not a huge concern for me. But yes, this is toxic to pets. All the plants in the Araceae family are. I'm going to leave a link to the ASPCA website going directly to this plant so you can see what toxic properties it has, and then you can make your own decision on your pets and this plant. Oh, and stay tuned, because later on in the wintertime, probably end of February into early March, I'm going to be repotting a whole bunch of my houseplants, and this is one of them. And I will do a video and a blog post about repotting it and the steps I take in the soil, mix, and all that good stuff. I love this plant. As you saw, it's on that long table with a whole bunch of other plants, but this one really draws my eye every time I look at the plants. I just kind of zoom in on this plant. So I think it is worth a try for you. You're just going to have to figure out how to up the humidity factor a little bit to have this plant do well. So I hope you have found this video to be helpful. And check the blog post for more information on it. I always write long, detailed blog posts, so please go check it out. The link will be down below and also on my website. And let's see. Oh, I thank you for all your likes and your subscribes. I really appreciate them. Now let's get out in the garden or into our indoor gardens and make our worlds a more beautiful place. And stay tuned, because there's more houseplant goodness coming up in the coming weeks. And as always, I thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. Happy 2020.